This is 4 Downs.
And 4 Downs is brought to you by Geico. Switch to Geico today and see all the ways you could save. Here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Harry Douglas in for Key and Jay today. You ready to play 4 Downs, Harry?
Let's do this, Max. It's Happy Friday.
It is Happy Friday. All right.
First down.
Jets at Bills.
So the Jets are at the Bills indeed. The Bills are 10-point favorites at home. Jets have already beaten them this year. The Bills are 10-point favorites at home, and the over-under is 43 exactly. I love to say on a hook, but it's just 43, Harry. Here is the question. Will Mike White prove that he is the Jets franchise quarterback?
It's a big possibility, but you do have to understand, like, the Bills have a hell of a defense still without Von Miller. Remember, Mike White threw 4 interceptions last year versus the Buffalo Bills, so I hope he definitely doesn't watch that game. But I do believe in Mike White. I just love the energy that the team has towards him. I love the love that they have for him, and everything that I experienced being in the locker room says that that's a positive environment for Mike White to succeed.
The question I have about Mike White and the love the team has for him, and credit to him, I think about Carson Wentz, whose teams don't usually perform for him the way they perform for other guys, especially considering his talent. Wentz is a talented guy. When Nick Foles took over the team, they were on their way to the Super Bowl, right? But it was still the regular season. Carson Wentz was having an MVP year. Nick Foles, can you win? Won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles. The next year, though, they were dead in the water. Dead in the water, like 500. Nick Foles took over. They caught fire. They won a playoff game against the Bears defense. A lot of people thought we were going to get out of the NFC. On the road at Soldier Field.
Should have won the next one.
Should have won at New Orleans.
I was at that game.
I mean, you go to Chicago and New Orleans, the team loved Nick Foles. It was obvious. Jalen Hurts, too.
Yep.
When he took over, the team loves the guy. You can see the way they play for him, right? So, but you wonder sometimes, but is that the Carson Wentz effect? In other words, not only do they love Nick Foles and Jalen Hurts, but they also don't like Carson Wentz. I don't know for sure, although I've heard things, right? So some guys, and locker rooms are hard to get everyone behind one guy. I wonder how much of the Mike White love on the Jets is disdain for Zach Wilson. And so not only do they like Mike White, but it's like...
They're wearing T-shirts to the game.
Come on, man.
They're wearing T-shirts.
That's a little extra,
and let's be honest now. Against the Minnesota Vikings, if Braxton Berrios catches the damn football in the end zone, they probably win that game.
Oh, they're going to win the game.
They probably win that game now.
So that's the question I have. As long as he's not Zach Wilson, right? But I liked what Coach said. Robert Saleh said a lot about Mike White. He makes the easy look easy. He's not, Zach Wilson.
Don't
remember
make
in
things
college,
look hard when it's not supposed to be hard.
He practiced off-platform, off-schedule throws. Zach Wilson, like he wanted to be like Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes, and Mike White's like, I know I'm not Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Let me keep this simple. All right, time for second down.
Second down.
Eagles at Giants.
So the Eagles are 7-point favorites. I'm surprised it's only 7 points the way they're playing. And the fact is the Giants are playing very well. They just don't have the personnel right now, right? The over-under is 44.5. It's on ESPN radio, coverage at noon Eastern. Here's the question about the Eagles, Harry. First of all, let me say about the Giants. I believe Daboll is coach of the year because the other guys you can point to are working with a lot. This dude is whipping up. It's like a chef competition. He's whipping up some nice dishes. No ingredients. Everyone else got the ingredients, right? Yeah, if you give someone the best meat, the best this, that, they'll whip you up something good. But give them leftovers, see what they can do, Daboll's doing incredible work with those leftovers.
Yep.
Meantime, Sirianni has the most loaded roster in the NFL, I would say, front to back, both sides of the ball. Them and the Bills, but they're healthier. So the question is, are the Eagles the best team in the NFL?
For me, they are. And it's simple because Bill Parcells said, and Keyshawn said this a lot, you are what your records say you are. But I like the way this team plays. Like you just mentioned, their roster from their offensive line to their running backs to their wide receivers to their quarterback on the offensive side, they're outstanding. Defensively, from their defensive line, linebackers, the secondary, they're outstanding. So that's just special teams. They're good on special teams. Nick Sirianni's doing a great job. Shane Steichen, offensive-wise, the offensive coordinator, is doing a wonderful job as well. So I really like this team and where they are, and I think they're the best team in the National Football League.
I want to talk about Jalen Hurts for a second because They use the second-round pick on. He loses his job to Tua. Like, when we compare this quarterback draft class, it's one of the greatest of all time. It's going to go down in history, probably, if guys stay healthy. It's really Burrow and Herbert who are compared because 6'5" and better, right? Like, big arms, the whole thing. And Hurts and Tua who are compared because shorter guys who played on the same team in college.
One and transfer.
Tua took Hurts' job. Hurts got taken out. Tua got put in. They win. Tua took his job and therefore goes high up in the first round, and Hurts goes in the second round. But this Eagles team that is loaded, because he was very good, Hurts, right away. The team, as I mentioned, liked him, and he's energetic, and they were energized. And he did it, and he flashed, I remember, in a loss against Kyler Murray that year. We're going back 2.5 seasons now. But he wasn't seeing the middle of the field. And that was the big question for me with Hurts. Will he ever be able to see the middle of the field? They get A.J. Brown. Week 1, he didn't again. And I thought, uh-oh. That's all it took was 1 week with A.J. Brown. By week 2, he's been an MVP caliber player. He makes the simple look simple. Like, Jalen Hurts is capable of off-schedule, off-platform stuff, and he does it when he needs to. But that's when he needs to. Otherwise, he's running your offense. And they're the best team in the NFL front to back.
They are, Max. And it's a thing of beauty to watch Jalen Hurts. He's always so cool, calm, and collected. It's times where they may get a penalty. They may get a flag for holding. They may have a false start. So they're 2nd and 20 and 2nd and 16. He never wavers. Nah. But the entire offense drums to his beat. And when he doesn't show any wavering, the offense doesn't either. And I love that about Jalen Hurts.
Tune into a football doubleheader Sunday as the Giants host the Eagles, followed by Panthers and Seahawks. Coverage begins at noon Eastern on select ESPN radio stations.
3rd down.
Browns at Bengals.
Cincinnati, for some reason, I know they're at home and they're playing really well. They're favored by 5 and a hook. Over under 46 and a hook. I don't know, man. They've yet to beat the Browns. I think I would, even if Cincinnati wins, I like getting the 5.5 points if you are the Cleveland Browns. Now, part of this may be a reaction to what we saw from Deshaun Watson in his first week back, but I expect week 2 to be a lot better than week 1. What do you think? How confident are you that he's going to get better and then ultimately that the Browns can make a playoff push?
I can't sit up here and say that I'm confident just from what I've seen from Deshaun Watson in the preseason.
That was ugly.
And then what I've seen from him against the Houston Texans. Yeah. What I do know is that the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Cleveland Browns, Myles Garrett has been a monster and has been a matchup nightmare in this game. I want to see if this offensive line of the Cincinnati Bengals can contain him and stop him from getting off. But also, I think Joe Burrow's doing a great job of diversifying the football and utilizing his legs now. So I'm looking. This is a game I'm really going to be paying attention to on Sunday because of the simple fact that Joe Burrow is 0-4 against the Cleveland Browns. But I want to see how Deshaun Watson is going to play. And we don't give the Cincinnati Bengals defense enough credit that they deserve.
You're right. Like, they've been playing well.
We got to start giving them more credit, man.
The line, too, has been playing much better as the season gone on. So when I said in the beginning of this season that if not for Patrick Mahomes, I take Joe Burrow over everyone. Like, if we're choosing up teams, you got Mahomes, I can't have Mahomes, fine, give me Joe Burrow. No, Josh Allen, nope, give me Joe Burrow. Even Justin Herbert, and it took me a while to come to this conclusion. I was like, oh my God, Herbert's so good. But Burrow's got that thing, man. I think he reads defenses a little.
You know what I said
than
yesterday?
Herbert, too.
He's the only person I know walking around with the size of grapefruits, my man.
So he really is special and he's different. But I think sometimes we give him so much credit for the moxie and what you just said, and that we overlook the tangibles because we're talking about the intangibles.
In the pocket, 2 hands on the football. You know, he's not explosive running the football, but he does just enough to get a first down.
He can scoot.
Someone coming down the pipe. You know, on 3rd down that game against the Kansas City Chiefs, he still delivered the football to T. Higgins for a first down to put the game away. Like little things like that.
And then he has a big arm,
yes.
And he has an accurate arm. And he reads it quick, and he gets rid of it, and he has to behind that offensive line for most of his career so far. I mean, like, the Cincinnati Bengals are a lot.
Yeah.
That's the key. That's the cue for 4th down.
1 second. This is 4 downs.
That was the wrong thing. So 4th down, Dolphins at Chargers.
So Dolphins at Chargers, Miami favored by 3. On the road, the over-under's 52.5. So I said the quarterback comparisons out of that draft class are clearly Burrow versus Herbert And then Tua versus Hurts. Similar sized quarterbacks, all that stuff. And obviously, Hurts and Tua are always connected because of Alabama. But here we have Tua and Herbert going head to head. Tua in a great situation, who, to his credit, is taking advantage of it and has elevated himself to an MVP caliber player this year. And by the way, tough. I mean, he got his bell rung. He had some concussive event. I don't care what they want to say. That was a neurological event that took place.
I'm with you.
He stumbled. I've been watching the fights for my whole life, basically. I'm almost 50. I know what it looks like when a dude gets rocked. He was rocked. His legs went, right? Next, 4 days later, his arms are stiff like this. I've seen that, too, in combat sports, right? In boxing and in MMA, where you're out and your arms get stiff.
Alligator arms, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
right? And as soon as you saw the fingers all splayed out weird, you knew,
right
uh-oh.
there.
And I don't know the wisdom of his continuing to play this year, but in terms of the inspiration and the toughness and the MVP conversation, I don't hold against him to miss games. I give him extra credit for the way he's playing. But the question is
I
this.
was against it, too. I was against him coming back and playing.
Me too. I might still be against it, but it's happening, and he's doing great. Okay. The question is this. Herbert or Tua? They're going head to head.
We talking about just this year? Just let's just make it this year.
Let's start with this year.
I'm going Tua. I'm gonna go Tua with this year
Because he's in the right situation?
I love the efficiency. They finally got playmakers around him. Listen, Justin Herbert has had playmakers around him since he came to the National Football League. Tua hasn't had that. As soon as he got that, we've seen what Tua can be. So I'm gonna rock with Tua.
On the other hand, Justin Herbert,
the long haul, I'm taking Justin Herbert.
Everyone said this about Josh Allen. Josh Allen has incredible physical tools, right? Even though he was raw when he got to the league. But just in terms of my gut reaction, when I put my eyes on Patrick Mahomes preseason, and Louis Riddick was telling me, wait till you see Mahomes this year. He's taking over for Alex Smith, because he sat on the bench his first year. He got into one game. So I put my eyes on Mahomes in a preseason game, and I came on First Take the next morning, and I said,
I know what preseason game it was.
And I said,
it was against the Titans.
That's right. I said, I will tell my grandkids one day that I saw Patrick Mahomes play. And everyone was like, what? He just won. I said, I know. I'm not saying he's going to go to the Hall of Fame. I'm saying from what I saw last night, I will remember that.
You should have seen me on the sidelines.
He was
what
different.
The world just happened.
The next time I got that feeling watching a quarterback was Justin Herbert against Patrick Mahomes. He takes over the team, right? Because he's not supposed to play either early on. Injury, Herbert's in. He played, I thought, he's not quite Mahomes, but that's the next time I got that same, my God.
Max, he got some pressure on him, though, Max. He got to get to the playoffs.
Harry,
he got to get to the playoffs, Max.
There's no question. He's been in the league 3 years.
Let me throw my pen down.
As many problems as they've had, they have enough to get to the playoffs. There's no excuses.
Yep.
You're right.
You know what? Sean Payton to take him to the playoffs.
Sean Payton take him more to the playoffs. If he gets Sean Payton, him and Sean Payton and because it really is the quarterback coach combination. Like Tua also has Mike McDaniel, who's looking like $1 billion right now. Herbert and Payton against Mahomes and Reed. Oh. I'm taking Herbert over Tua all day, and I like Tua, but Herbert's just got a lot, man.
You cannot take him over Herbert this year, Max.
I know.
You are delusional if you think that this year in 2022.
Want to go for it on 5th down? Here we go.
Bonus down.
Bucks at Niners. San Francisco's favored by 3 and a hook. The over-under is 37.5. It's so interesting to me because on the one hand, you got Brock Purdy, rookie quarterback. No one knows anything about him, right? But stuff all around him. And on the other hand, you have Tom Brady, greatest player ever, but the team is ailing. Super interesting matchup to me. And by the way, I am picking the Bucks in that one. I like the Bucks. I like Tom Brady here. Can the Niners make the playoffs with Purdy at quarterback? And more than that, can they do something in the playoffs?
I think they can because of the formula and the way the team is set up. Right? The formula is not made for the quarterback to do everything on the 49ers team. And you have the supporting cast player-wise. They have superstars all over the football field from an offensive standpoint when you think about the San Francisco 49ers. Plus, let's not forget, they have the number 1 defense in the National Football League. So you talk about taking the football away, getting sacks. Nick Bosa leading the NFL in sacks right now at the moment. That defense can create more opportunities for that offense to have the football. And one thing I know about Shanahan, when he gets like I'll say a 7 to 10, 13-point lead, we all know what's coming. They're already going to run the football, but we all know what's coming. Can your defensive line stop this offensive line from imposing their will on you and winning that football game?
And then you got the best running back who's a wideout and the best wideout who's a running back in McCaffrey and Debo. Good luck with that. We're presented by Progressive Insurance and joined now by ESPN NFL analyst Rob Ninkovich.
Hello.
What's going on?
What's up, guys?
Or as we call him on this just in, Captain Robvious.
Captain Robvious.
We started talking about Sean Payton. I thought you was going to perk up over there, Rob.
Sean Payton, he's going to be the next head coach for the Chargers.
Oh, I hope so. I just want to see it. Nick, I need to see him and Herbert against Reed and Mahomes.
If Dallas loses in the first round, Jerry Jones is going to be knocking on his door with some cash.
Forget Sean Payton in Dallas. I hate that.
Listen, if Jerry offers him money that he can't refuse in a state that has no state tax, I don't even know how you can pass that up. With that defense and those two running backs?
But Nico,
he'd be really good at shaping that offense.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty good.
When you look at the quarterback, also think of the credit Sean Payton would get if they missed the playoffs. Herbert has more talent. He has like almost Mahomes level talent, but he's 6'6", right? And he hasn't won yet. Then Peyton comes in and unlocks that. Could you imagine?
No, it'd be awesome. I'd love to see it because Sean Payton, he's one of the smartest offensive guys in the game. Like we know how great he was in New Orleans. We know how great him and Drew Brees were together. So I could see him definitely going to a place that has a quarterback that's that gifted.
All right, let's get back to last night. Nick, I thought I was going to get some sleep last night.
I'm tired. I'm so tired right
because
now.
it adds up through the week, as you know.
Yes.
I'm hosting this show, I'm up at 4 in the morning. I push it to 4 in the morning nowadays. But it used to be 3:30.
You know what's bad is my wife's in Orlando, so the second I get home, I got kid duty.
Right. I get it. I'm with you.
All weekend.
So Nico, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get some sleep. This game's going to be over at the half. The Raiders are fighting for their playoff lives. The Rams are cooked. Baker just got there. I didn't get any sleep last night. I mean, come on.
So listen, this is one of them situations where hats off to Baker